First game, it is the 5th playday of the Nations Cup qualifier for Europe. We have Poland against Finland. Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map as the two teams clash in the best of 5 series. Again, it's all about qualifying for Berlin. The top 4 team in this 8-team round robin phase of the tournament, of the qualifier, will advance to the final stage of the event, to the finals in Berlin. We're going to have 4 European teams, 1 team from NA and 1 team from Asia. And it's going to be an amazing event in Berlin. It's going to be super fun. We have the Experian there, the venue where we hold the entire event. There's links in the description if you want to have some idea of what the Experian looks like, what kind of events they hosted in the past, so what you can expect with the Heroes of the Storm event. It's an awesome venue. It's really fun. And it is located very central within Berlin at the Alexanderplatz, so even better. If you want to stop by, if you live in Berlin, if you live close by, or if you just simply want to go and maybe travel to Berlin, stay a couple of days in the city and then also enjoy the event, you're more than welcome to join. We have players there, audience is welcome. We don't have any tickets, you don't have to pay an entrance fee, you can just show up. We're going to start early in the day on Saturday. It's June 10th and 11th. More details again in the description through the links that we'll provide for this. But yeah, we'll start early in the day on Saturday, between 10 and 11, goes the entire day, and the same also for Sunday, so it's going to be pretty awesome. Players are going to be there, I'm going to be there, other casters of course as well, and we're going to have tons of Heroes of the Storm fans. It's going to be fun. So if you want to check it out, make sure that you have a look at the links in the description. And with that said, we have 2 teams now that are of course hoping to qualify for it. Poland in particular, one of the strong teams here. And for me personally, we always talk about the top 3. We talk about Sweden, Germany and France, who are expected to come to the event. They have some of the most experienced players, some of them former HGC players, and it would be a bit of a shocker if they would not qualify for the final stage. Upsets can happen, but more importantly, even if all of them do, then you still have the 4th slot that the teams that remain will fight for. And my personal favorites right now, after all that we've seen so far, for that position is Poland or Spain. Both of them are looking really strong. Now, again, a lot can happen. Maybe some of those games were flukes, maybe they just had a good day, or the opponent had a bad day, maybe this shifts. But I'm really interested to see what these 2 teams in particular can do. And now that we're heading into our best of 5 here, this is another opportunity for Poland to get a couple of points. They won it, for example, against Ukraine, but they barely did. It was a 3-2 victory. Now against Finland, if they are able to, let's say, lock in a 3-1 or a 3-0, that will go a long way for Poland to get in a position where they might qualify for the offline event. And it's actually kind of funny, because Lavekal is one of the players from the Polish team. He's already said, I'm going to go to Berlin one way or another. I just didn't book a flight yet or a hotel because I hope that I qualify directly and get my trip paid. So, yeah. But apparently, even if he doesn't make it, if he doesn't qualify, he still plans on attending the event, which is of course awesome. But here we are. So we got Jojo and we got Hoga for the Polish team. We have on the right side for Finland, Murden and Leoric, Hanzo and Rega here on Tomb, Tracer and Chromie. So, I mean, you have 2 of the most annoying damage dealers in Heroes of the Storm right now against you if you're playing for Finland. Tracer's gonna try and needle you. It's the Nexus Mosquito, just bzz, bzz, bzz the entire time. And then Chromie from a distance, just shooting away here. Dubbed back in the day as a Sand Hitler by somebody. I'm not quite sure if I will go that far, but I can definitely see... yeah, I can definitely see the similarities. Shut up, you. Nobody wants to hear from you. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 1. Let's go, everybody. We have Poland going up against Finland. Game number 1, and on the left in blue we have Poland, Napierdalai, with Lavekal on Brightwing, twice playing Johanna, Richu on Hoga, Arion on Tracer, and Itrax is playing Chromie. To the right side of the map, Finland with Folko on Rega, Patsko on Leoric, Vexu is playing Hanzo, and we have Zuri on Murden with MXD on Maiev. And well, that sets us up for the game. Talent not taken, bot detected. Yeah, if you watch the series of the French, then you know what's going on here. No, but yeah. In this case, obviously, we're playing with a full deck of cards, 5 versus 5. Level 1, we get the Tracer rounds. We also have deep breathing and shots fired right there. Okay, so with that, down to the bottom of the map, Leoric already taking his position on the solo lane against Hogger. A little bit of a skirmish in the middle with the Stormbolt missing, or it could have been the end of Tracer. That would have been a nice hit, shutting her down. All the way up at the top side now. Still the rotation ongoing. Obviously you have the wave clear from Johanna, so that is really helping you. Sets you a bit ahead in the rotational plays. And Muradin with another Stormbolt connect right here, just waiting the shield out of twice before he makes his move. And Tracer taking advantage of the small map. Quick rotation, down to the bottom, bit of pressure against Leoric, just making it easier for Hogger on the lane. Every time you can help your solo laner out by putting additional damage onto his opponent, it means that it's going to be much easier in the 1 versus 1 to sustain yourself and play this out. So this is kind of the idea of this. Bit of a move down to the bottom, as they're obviously realizing that Siege Giants are about to be taken here now as well. So already Muradin just like stepping by, checking this one out. But they take their own camp at the same time. So while the Siege Giants were claimed, they went for the Bruiser camp. And that now means immediately that they didn't have enough heroes here, not enough resources to really make a solid stance and try and steal those Siege Giants away. So they just had to let them go. And Poland was able to take them. But that also means that there is, in the middle of the map now, an opportunity for them to aggressively push for this and see if they can maybe damage that wall at least a little bit. Not quite sure if we're gonna get there just yet, but yeah. Price gets attacked over here. He's being pushed back as we speak. But what can they do? What they can pull off right now. They did structural damage already, so gotta give them that. They did a little bit of damage up here at the wall. Were able to take a few of the hit points off, especially the lower tower has suffered and is now down at 50% HP. Turn-ins haven't happened thus far. We have now roughly the same amount of gems in the hands of the two teams, but nobody has used any of their time to go for turn-ins here. So yeah, none of that has happened yet. It's just the early game poking and prodding that you're seeing here. And of course, in the case of Jojo, she needs to be a bit careful because she doesn't have a lot of hit points left here. They need to save her. That's 25 gems. That's a dead Johanna. Can you save the gems though? That's the question. Brightwing is trying, and I think they got all of them. Chromie has 21 now, so they should have been able to get all of them. It's 40 to 40. Maybe lost 1 or 2, but still a good effort at recovering them. Because if that doesn't happen, then you are already on the back foot right from the beginning of the game. And that was first blood as well. So Jojo dying is the first kill that has happened here. Still the rotations being played out. But now that we're getting closer and closer to 50 gems on the side of these teams, it also means that, of course, we're going to get into a spot where turn-ins can finally happen, where Weavers could touch ground. And 13 gems have been delivered. I mean, it's not only about threatening the objective, you also want to safeguard the gems and make sure that you can't simply be killed by the opponent and the gems being removed. So yeah, they're doing everything they can. Tracer jumping back up towards the top. Careful. Rhaegar was ready to follow up on that. Both teams, of course, now knocking on the door of level 7 and trying to get the extra talent in. And with Chromie, you always gotta be cautious. I mean, no matter how far back you are, she's always gonna get some damage through to you. Hogger gets a free turn-in down at the bottom of the map, as Patsku hasn't paid attention here. So yeah, that shouldn't really have happened for him. If Hogger now pays attention, then it's going to be very tricky for Leoric to turn his gems in, and that could make the difference between the red or the blue team getting the first Webweaver wave on this. 17 to 13 gems, both easily have enough here. And yep, down to the bottom of the map, the turn-in attempts are already continuing. 32 have now been delivered, so Rhaegar was able to hand in as well. Finland is looking a little bit better on this. But Poland isn't done with it yet. They're still creating some space. Space for Lavakal to turn in, for example. And they're getting very close of being the first team to complete the turn-in. Yeah, looking pretty good here. So, blue team has been able to make the move. They turn in. Webweavers coming down. Bit behind experience. Single kill in the game. Not much more than that happened so far. Just camps taken, 2-for-1 trade in favor of Poland, since they took the bottom camp too. But let's see if they can maybe now do a bit more work here. And especially with Tracer retreating, Yeah, she also did a lot of damage to Maiev. So Maiev is now in the spot where she had already tapped the fountain. Bot lane is getting pressured, and it seems like Hoga is definitely going to get the upper hand here. It's more so a question what happens up top side, where the gate is going to fall, but can they go for fort as well? Now that's obviously always the goal that you have here. Try and take the fort down, try and drop that as quickly as you can, and get an advantage with catapults, remove a couple of these fountains that your opponent can use to just come back in and tap. So they're getting it down to 50% HP, but the defensive play of Finland is quite strong here. So they're able to get that. Both teams now on level 9.5. Still enough gems for a turn-in for Finland, but only 20 gems shy of turn-in number 2 is what we are getting from Poland. And oof, careful, Rhaegar. So the turn-in point gets controlled quite nicely, or patrolled, I should say. They're patrolling over here and trying to figure out where exactly the red team is trying to turn in. So Chromie has a lot of interrupt potential here, of course, and then you have also the flashlight from Jojo. But at the bottom of the map, the turn-in has happened, and now the red team is turning in. So Leo got a free turn-in, level 10 is there. Gives us the disc, gives us also Avatar, and down to the bottom of the map. The party continues, yeah. Taking the camp just as the red team gets the Web Weaver. So Siege Giants in the situation now, obviously very nice. It's going to help you at the bot lane very quickly to take down those Web Weavers. So this is actually really good for them. It's a really nice timing. Bot lane shouldn't be a problem for Hoga at all, defending against Leo here. And at the same time, we have the push coming through in the middle as they're trying to now go also for the fort here. Big damage and the kill. Well done. Ancestral just a bit too late and now on a short cooldown. So Rhaegar was nearly destroyed too. But now he has the cooldown back, already tapped the fountain. So yeah, that objective did very little. They broke some towers down, I guess. But since topside, one tower gets destroyed, one is still standing, this one I guess is going to fall too. But no damage on the fort, at least no serious damage. So this is looking really good. Very nice defense by Poland, but this is a bit of a problem, I guess. Yeah, she's going to fall. Way too many heroes on the red team side. Ja, viele Jäger sind des Hasen tot. 1 kill to 2 in favor of Finland. Objective turned out to be a little bit better for Poland, and they lost some gems, so here's the second turn in. Finland is gaining momentum. Finland is gaining a fair amount of momentum now that they could use to try and get more damage done, and they're also killing Brightwing, so that's another 5 gems removed, and Brightwing lost. So that is, yeah, this is starting to be a problem for Poland. Again, this is an important series for them. If they want to have a chance to make it into the top 4, this is an important game. Doesn't mean that if they lose here, they have no opportunities anymore, but it would make their journey so much harder. A victory here goes a long way, always assuming that Spain is not all of a sudden waffling their own games. But yeah, it's only game number 1 and it's not even done yet. But they have to be cautious. Losing too many forts now with a second objective for the red team, for example, would be an issue. For Finland, it would be fantastic if they can pull this one off. I mean, it's not only Poland that has some ambition here. Finland, of course, also wants to make this work. Arrow is fired out, connects. Richu has 29 gems. Well, correction, he has no gems. And that's painful. That's really painful. That is 30 gems removed from the blue team. They're now down to 13. Thankfully for them, they didn't lose a fort though. So it was a little bit of a bittersweet situation for Finland. They destroyed Hoga. 29 gems were lost to Poland, but they had 2 objectives already, and they haven't taken down a single fort. That's, let's call it suboptimal. So, yeah. The kill was great, but the value they got out of the last 2 objectives is a bit meh. I've seen better. We've all seen better. So there is a chance for them, for the blue team, to bring this one back. Finland, though, they are of course continuing here. Yeah, going for Brightwing again. The Fruit Fly getting attacked. Chromie with the Temporal Loop. Blessed Shield is out. They go for Muradin, and the Ancestral saves the day for now. Muradin saved, at least for the time being. And Maiev has to rush away too. Got targeted right away here and had to tap the fountain again. One of the main reasons why you want to remove these forts as quickly as you can, so that it's much harder for your opponent to disengage and top off their hit point and mana pools. So 4 kills to 1. And the turn in for Volke has happened. That's 20 delivered. That's another 13 delivered. They're getting another turn in here. Poland? You boys gotta be a little bit careful. You already went up against 2 Webweaver waves. If you really want to suffer through a third now, I mean, kudos if you pull it off, but at some point it's going to be a bit too much for you to handle. So here comes Poland, trying to get kills. But the disengage has already happened. They themselves, not quite enough gems for a turn-in, but they're getting real close here. Should already try and deliver a few. But yeah. 16 is the next big talent. Oh, is that a kill? No. Maiev gets out once again. MXD is just such a slippery guy. He is just moving back out of these fights every time, just barely towards the end when he's about to fall. It's like the 3rd or 4th time now that it looked like Maiev might die, and then he just retreats, taps the fountain, hearths back. So good on him for making that work. But at the same time, yeah, Stormbolt gets dodged, okay. Down here, a little bit of damage. I guess Patsku, yeah, he connects the drain and forces the recall from Tracer immediately. And talking damage, I mean, it's 27,000 for Hanzo with all of the poke. Tracer's at 40,000, Chromie's at 30,000. So all of them are doing well here. But now we have level 16 on board for Finland. Poland is going to claim it in a few seconds, but it's a small window that the Finnish team can still operate with. And they look for that turn-in. They only need 6 gems to make it happen. And that would be the 3rd Webweaver wave in a row. So definitely not something that the Polish team wants to deal with. Brightwing is coming in, trying to help out. Mirrodin, Stormbolt still connects, but no follow-up. Especially now that Hogger is also helping out. The problem is that Vexu is turning in, and this is another Webweaver wave. So a kill for Poland would go a long way to make this defense a bit easier. Blessed Shield is out. Yeah, I'm talking about kills, right? So that's the end of Rhaegar. That's the support gone. Brightwing is able to escape. That's kind of important. And it is a 5 versus 4 now, as they have to defend against the Finnish onslaught once again. This is a decent position to be in, since sustain is everything, and if you take Rhaegar out, that means no Ancestral in the foreseeable future and nothing else. So that makes the defense a little bit easier for them, but they might still lose some forts here. Now, as long as they don't lose their gems, it's going to be fine, but still. So bottom Webweaver easily destroyed. Shouldn't really be an issue here. This one gets taken down quickly. Middle of the map already fairly low. I guess they might sacrifice the fort here, but it seems like they want to hold on to the one at the top. Everybody's already diving in deep. Here comes Brightwing for the assist, and they take the Webweavers down. So the fort in the middle was safe too, barely, but they saved it. So they could try and poke this down. But either way, 3 Webweaver waves, no fort destroyed. Finland, you gotta do a little bit better than that if you want to win this series. To be fair to them, this one is probably going to be picked off in a minute or so. Whenever they get close enough, shouldn't be a problem for them. But with 3 Webweaver waves, you need to do a bit more. Rhaegar dying, of course, the big issue here. But now it is time for Poland to really make some plays. It's one of those now or never situations. If you get a Webweaver wave now yourself, now I have a nice Blessed Shield. Good follow-ups too. Trying to go for Mirrodin. Hogger with a big poke, and that's a kill. Good stun on Rhaegar as well. Richu with 10. Yeah, this battle is not over just yet. Mirrodin is trying to escape and gets stopped on the jump, and that should be the end of the dwarf. Ancestral comes in too late again. The last time that he tried to drop it, it was interrupted and then set on a low cooldown. Once that cooldown comes back, he uses it again on Mirrodin. Again, it gets interrupted. And that's just bad news. Rhaegar tried, and he tried hard, but it doesn't work for them. Now the blue Webweavers are gonna descend onto the map, and already, even before they're here, the fort in the middle is gonna get crushed. And down to the bottom of the map, there's serious damage done here too. So this is gonna set Poland ahead for sure. They already have a 1-level lead thanks to all of this, and I have no idea what Leo is doing. The hell was that? Leo with the honorable Sudoku and just giving the Polish team 25 gems. Yeah, that was definitely a little bit off. Leo struggling there, making the wrong choice, getting punished for it, and the team loses 25 gems. Now all 3 forts have been destroyed. This is the second Web Weaver wave for Poland, and boy are they pushing this one out now. So pressure at the top, middle and bot lane through Web Weaver still. Those gates are going to be opened up, and if they can now also take down a keep, that would of course be just gigantic. And just look at the experience. Any second now they're going to be level 20. This is rough. Finland got 3 turn-ins in a row, but they just didn't capitalize on them. They didn't do enough. So now it's 5 kills to 4 in favor of Poland. They get level 20 any moment now, and they're just looking great here. Storm Talons are ready, and that is the end of the top keep. Now, I don't think they can end the game here right away, but this is already a pretty dicey spot. Chromie gets hit hard by the arrow. Kudos on Hanzo of hitting such a small target. That was definitely not easy. A skilled marksman for sure. But Stormbolt? No. So, good news for Poland. Great news for them. Top side taken out. And now, of course, the question of whether or not they can get another turn in, because they certainly got the gems. And, well, I guess that answers that. So they move in, they take another one. And that is another... This is the third Web Weaver wave for them. And very likely another keep. At least you would think so, right? So if they can get another keep here, that would be quite strong. Maybe they can pull it off right now here in the middle as they're already opening it up. And of course a kill in the process, that would be even better. Maybe they could snowball it towards the core for that. But the gate is opened. Web Weaver at the bottom of the map has quite a bit of travel time because the lane was pressured out previously. But there's still no level 20 on the side of Finland, so they don't have Storm Talons to contest this. Leo's at the top trying to deal with the Web Weavers, but the rest of the blue team is based in the middle as they are going for damage, poke, zoning the opponent away. And let's not forget, there's not a single fort that has been destroyed on the blue team side. So there's catapults with every single wave that are totally uncontested from the opponent. So the second keep has fallen, and they're just totally sieging up on this one. Yeah, another shockwave, and that is the end of Maiev. Maiev is dead, and they're not gonna stop here, are they? Hogger with a big poke. They're trying for Rega, they're trying for Muradin. Rega with his self-ancestral, and Muradin is dead. Muradin down. Rega wants the kill on Tracer at least, but he can't even get that. He's at 32 gems, and he dies too. The keep is gone, the core, the only structure still standing, and there's of course no surprises here anymore. A decisive victory towards the second half of the game by Poland. They take the lead against Finland in this best-of-5 series at the 5th playday of the European qualifier for the Nations Cup. GG, well played. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, Infernal Shrines, the Polish team taking the lead in the series. It was a little bit closer, especially in the early game. I think Finland really had a chance there with 3 turn-ins in a row to drop some of those forts and maybe get the upper hand and some map control. But Poland at the end, yeah, they were just crushing it, doing a great job on this one. We now have them in a 1-0 lead in the best-of-5, and as we're heading into game number 2, so once again, heroes can only be played with once within the series, which now means that the 10 that we saw on the first map are not available anymore. Mephisto gets banned for Infernal Shrines. Sylvanas is out of the frame too. But yeah, what is Poland in particular now going to pull off here? I mean, it's Infernal Shrines. I would expect that somebody is either going to ban or pick Dehaka. Leo was already played. Blaze would be another really good option for one of the teams. Oh no, there's Blaze. Okay, already taken. Sweet. And over on the right side for the red team, What are we getting from them? Now that Blaze is taken, are you going to go for Dehaka? Are you going to go for Sonya, which we've seen a lot here? Depending on when exactly this is going to happen, there's a chance, of course, that someone like Malthael is going to be picked too, but it is Dehaka. So they go for the global here. They got Dehaka. They can use him on the shrines as well. Blaze against Dehaka, obviously a bit of a classic for sure. Junkrat is in. Ready for mayhem. And ready to bombard the shrine from the outside with one grenade after another. I gotta say that the Junkrat synchro is still one of my favorites. Like, all the stupid laughs that he has are awesome. Absolutely love them. Now, on the left side, for the blue team, what's it gonna be? What is Poland gonna play here? Nubarak and Anduin. The alliance above all. Shut up. So, Nubarak with the stuns and the engage, Blaze with a follow-up, and Cocoon can be played too. Isolate targets even a little bit further. With Anduin, even if you dive in a bit too deep, he can always help you out. I mean, he's the pull-out king for a reason. And that's a Genji ban, and there is no real surprise why exactly Genji is banned. You got an Anduin, you got the light bomb, you gotta ban Genji. Unless you're for some reason a little bit masochistic and you're just sitting there, it's like, I like pain. I like my backline to be stunned and Genji to wreak havoc while nobody can move. So yeah, a good Genji engaged light bomb with Anduin is just pretty powerful, and if you have some squishies, you don't want for that to happen. Garrosh gets banned. Alright. This is baldism, by the way. They hate the baldies. They see a bald hero and they instantly dislike him. Baldism detected. It's actually a real problem in our society these days. People hate bald people. I can talk about that quite a bit too, so yeah, it is a problem. I didn't want to tell you guys, but I am a victim. Bald people, they are not respected the way that they should be. We have been ostracized by society a lot. People hate on us actively, and it's a big problem for me. And for Garrosh too. Stay strong. I'm trying to stay strong here, but it is very difficult for me. Okay, double pick for the blue team. Still tough. Vala and Falstad. Alright. Getting the hits in there. With Vala. Not an auto attack. I guess we're gonna see multi-shot. We haven't seen multi-shot build in a while, by the way. Quite some time. So we get the birdie, another bald guy, by the way. So yeah, Falstad, lot of hair over here, no hair over there. So that's what it is. Malfurion, he gets picked, and Tychus, and that sets us up. Game number 2, everybody. Infernal Shrines is the map. Poland is in the lead. Let's see what the Finns can do as we're heading into Infernal Shrines. Game number 2, Lavekal for the Polish team on Anduin. Well, we got Richu on Blaze, we have Itrax on Falstad, Arian on Vala, and Twice on Nubarak. To the right side of the map, Finland, playing this one out with Falco on Malfurion. We got Sori on ETC, Patsku on Dehaka, MXD on Junkrat, and Vexu on Tychus. So ETC plays up at the front for the stuns, the follow-ups are right there. Can try and control Nubarak a little bit. And with that, we have an arrow build for Vala. Not really all that insane when you're playing on the shrine itself, but I guess outside of it, Vala can still do an enormous amount of damage with that, and the RNG is of course there too. So some stacks slowly coming in, and every single time that you fight outside of that, I mean, maybe over Mercenary Camp for example, you can still do a whole lot here. But personally, I expected a multi-shot build. There's not really a draft that lends itself to them playing an auto attack style, which we've seen quite a lot actually over the last couple of days. But what I could have totally seen is them just saying, hey, let's carpet all of this in some arrows, let's go full multi-shot on it and see how much damage we can do with that. But either way, if you can go up against an isolated target, you can of course also do a lot of work with an arrow build. This has been played in HGC on this map too. And they're walking away with kill number 1. Vala dies, but she dies second. First blood for Poland. And there is one lonely Blaze up at the top, and some people just want to see the world burn. 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 He's one of them. So, Khaldor is another. Ragnaros. It's actually kind of crazy how many fire guys we have in this game. So we have Ragnaros, we have Khaldor, we got Blaze. He's burning things to a crisp too. We have a few more. I'm actually blanking. I think we talked about this just the other day. Who else is there? Who else do we have for the Fire Nation? I don't even remember. But yeah, either way. There's plenty. So, up at the top, we now got... that is just a little bit too late as a lick. So yeah, that one didn't really work out there. But okay. Diablo, Lightning Breath, I guess that counts as a Fire Breath. Ah, and then Deathwing, of course. Yeah, he can also breathe fire, so that's already another 2. Pretty easy. But again, with all of that, we have a big push coming in through the mid lane. The Finnish team is a little bit late to the party here, and that means they're already suffering damage on the structures. Quick slide, yep, but they go for Anduin. Always go for the weak link first. I absolutely agree with that strategy. You go for Anduin and you take him down. This is the easiest kill that you're ever going to get in your life. So the tricky thing is catching him, because he is a veteran at the French defense. He's insanely good at running away. So you need to make sure that you grab him. But once you have him, he is an easy target and you can take him down. So yeah, nice kill. Well done. Anduin gone. Vala busy on the camp up at the top left. Everybody preparing for objective number 1, of course. And they want to have the shaman camp so that they can start moving that one through the top lane while everybody else is focusing on the objective and on the points that you can gather on that one. And this is also where we're going to see our first real clash. Vala has 5 stacks so far for her initial damage. The one thing that both of the teams are still waiting for is their level 7 ability, and that of course is going to kick in eventually too. The question is who's going to get it first. But ETC gets a little bit isolated here. Yeah, he doesn't want to be there, I can tell you that much already. And he makes it out of the fight. I mean, kudos to Surrey that he was able to still get away. That looked more than a bit tricky, but him losing this many hit points is obviously still a problem. So yeah, an issue for sure. Dehaga has now joined the fun, and this is all coming at the moment when we have 20 stacks towards the blue team. And Finland is catching up very quickly, so they're doing a great job here, catching up on points. It's a bit dicey for Poland here. They're trying for a big stun from Blaze, and ETC is dead. They wanted beef for the barbecue, and they got some. Nice. Well played. So this is going to be a first objective for Poland. Finland catching up very quickly initially, but then what we get instead is the move from Blaze on the stun for ETC, and that not only takes the target out but also allows them to claim full control over the shrine and get the Arcane Punisher. Nicely done. Well played. Bait over the wall. Don't think they can do too much here, but opening at least the gate up is going to be a thing. And Blaze, of course, is still at the top, so this is technically 4 versus 5. Well, actually, the Haka moved towards the mid lane by now. But Blaze still has plenty of time up at the top to get the entire wall and gate destroyed. And in addition to that, also get a bit more damage on the fort itself. So it's already a really nice situation for Poland over here. Structurally, they've taken the lead. They've also dropped the bottom fort to 50% of its hit points. Too far ahead in experience, so they can't capitalize on all of these small advantages yet. But yeah, we get the frost shot over here too. So playing around this, you don't need the other thingy. I want to say Hunter's Mark, but that's obviously not it. I'm kind of blanking here. We just had him earlier. Oh boy, what is happening today? Level 7, Vala. Hungering Arrow, level 7. I'm getting senile. There's too many games cast over the thing. Monster Hunter, there we go, Monster Hunter. Alright, I got it. Took me a little bit longer, but I have it. But boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm getting old, I'm telling you. That's insane. Just casted it like 2 games ago, 2 matches ago. We had a Vala with arrow build, so obviously Monster Hunter. You don't need Monster Hunter here. There's no boss that you can use it for. You're not going to use it for an objective. I mean, yes, I guess technically you could use it there as well, but you're going to get way more value out of this one, so this is still pretty sweet. Doing their thing fairly easily, 10 to 10. The level 10 abilities, we now get the Mosh Pit here too, so we got that. And while talking about Mosh Pit, There's not going to be any of those, at least for the foreseeable future, because ETC gets killed again, this time taken down by Vala once more. So yeah, they're struggling on this one. Lots of damage done and easy kills coming through as Poland is applying pressure continuously. Vala has to be a bit cautious and she's a bit low, but of course with Anduin going for the heals, they can slowly deal with that. I mean, either way, they are doing what they can to get the advantage here. And they haven't pulled too far ahead yet, but it's slowly getting there. 3 kills to 2, structurally doing some damage. It honestly feels we're at a point where Finland could break. You could break Finland. You keep applying pressure, and at some point, this is going to flip, and you will walk away with a very good advantage. The problem is, if that point doesn't come soon TM, then Finland has always a chance to win a big team fight and flip the game on its head. So yes, Poland is damaging every single lane. They're slightly ahead in kills. They're making aggressive moves. They're stacking well. But all of that doesn't matter if you cannot properly follow up on it eventually. And I think this objective is going to tell us very quickly where this game is headed. Because if Poland is now winning this fight and gets the objective, it means the top fort falls. They could rotate into the middle and claim this one too. I like that Falstad is using the global much faster than what we're seeing from Dehaka here to put more and more pressure onto the bottom fort here. And Atrax might just be able to take this one down with Dehaka just not being able to deal with it. So one fort at the bot lane should already fall, but this is still a very decisive situation for Poland in particular. And obviously for Finland therefore as well. If they can claim the objective here, that would go a long way to get back into the game. Falstad has another job at the bottom of the map, by the way. It's not only... Yeah, he wants to get level 13 for the team. So with Dehaka moving in, he gets immediately met by a stun and damage. Falstad is moving into the middle. He's going to get them level 13 right here. That's a talent advantage that they can play around with, and the birdie can now come up to the top and help the team out in a 5 versus 5. And this is exactly what we're seeing. We're already getting the siphoning arrow over here, and now they're forcing them into the choke point. Blaze bunkering up here and zoning them off a bit. But yep, that's a solid position for Poland. They dish out the damage, they go for the cocoon. Odin has been used as well though, and that makes it very uncomfortable. You don't really want to push into that. Level 13 talent advantage only goes so far though, and Finland has taken over on the objective. And it seems like Poland is letting it go. They're realizing it's not happening for them. 51 stacks for Falstad, 19 stacks for Vala. And I guess the birdie could go down to the bottom of the map and still get the fort there once that they're ready with the defense. Once the red team is pushing in together with the Punisher, if they do it at all, a quick gust would buy them even more time. Yeah, Blaze has already sniffed the position out, but this is an easy defense. This is something that Finland seems to struggle with a little bit. When they win objectives, they just don't get enough out of them. We saw that in the previous game, honestly. Yeah, we saw that on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Maybe I'm interpreting a little bit too much into it, but this seems to be a running theme for at least this series. So top side, more damage done here. So they're going again for another fort. Bottom of the map, camps are claimed. But these structures are taking way too much damage now. And I need some killer instinct from Finland. I need them to at some point say, alright boys, let's go and let's commit to this. But we haven't really seen a whole lot of that yet. And the scaling is a bit better, if you ask me, for Poland. We have stacks coming together for Falstad, for Vala, and that damage is eventually going to become problematic. 18,000 now for Vala, 16,000 for Falstad, but now they're in the middle of the map, and it's another quick rotation towards the structure that allows them to go for damage, and in this case they destroy the entire thing. So Dehaka gets attacked, one stun, second one misses a little bit. Vala still with good damage here, but of course the initial target wasn't really Dehaka. He was a bonus, but they want to go for the fort here. There is counter damage at the bottom of the map, but given the fact where we are, this is just a trade. And Finland is overall getting the worst deal of it. Especially since Poland is just faster. And Poland is now going for the top wall, so they're going for the key ball here. The rotation back is slowly happening, but that's a tower down, side lane is nearly open, or side wall, gate nearly destroyed, so I like what Poland is doing. It's small incremental advantages that they're taking time over time. But eventually that will lead to a lot of problems for Finland. They already have way too many when you ask me. Middle of the map, that's where the next shrine spawns. And as you already saw on the minimap, there's no fountain left anymore. Top, middle, no fountain. No fort that they can retreat to. So despite the fact that we still have level 16 for both teams and therefore even talents, at least in a second, this is already a huge advantage. And now, Glyph of Faith, big upgrade. Manticore, huge. Epic Enter, insane. So those are big level 16 talents. Much stronger in my opinion than what we're getting from Finland here. So I like it. And they're trying for an invade. They're also trying for a kill. And Tychus, he's pretty much alone, and he's also going to be pretty dead. So, yeah, Tychus shouldn't be able to survive through this. They're getting everything unleashed on them. And now that the blue team has not only taken the camp, but is also... No, actually, they haven't yet. But they're moving in for the camp, but they're trying to get follow-up kills. Vala isolated. Yeah, but still gets pulled over by Anduin. There we go. So, Lovikal saving the day for Vala. Now they can go for the objective. Camp has been taken, meaning double camp at the top. Yeah, that's bad news, isn't it? Because that means that we're gonna get a frozen Punisher for Poland pushing through the middle where the red team has already lost their fort. So, how are they gonna play this one out? Well, we'll find out, but I can already tell you that this is not gonna be all that easy for Finland. Finland is losing too many things, slowly and steadily. The one thing that I gotta give them, and that's really something where they do a great job, is they are not dropping in experience. They're not falling too far behind. But structurally, they are losing too many buildings, they are losing too many forts, they're losing too much around those keeps, and on top of that, it means that they're losing map control. So another attack right here in the middle, and again, it's a frozen Punisher. This bad boy hurts. This bad boy really hurts. Didn't freeze out the keep yet though, so that definitely helps the Finnish team with the defense, but yep, there it is. So damage on the keep, 100%. Not gonna be able to take the entire thing apart, but if you drop it to 50% HP, you're already in a great spot. So there's another one, 50%, easy peasy, protecting the catapult for a little bit more damage. Another jet propulsion here, this time towards the side for Tychus, who pops Odin. Gets immediately pushed back. Yeah, the light bomb did not quite work. They still save Anduin, and ETC died, so all of a sudden it's a 5 versus 4, and Poland has an opening. Poland has an opening in the middle of the map. Falstad dashing away from the lick, but they let it slide for now. They can now rotate down to the bottom of the map. First they're taking the camp, but they can also go straight away for the bottom fort and take this one too. And yeah, just generally speaking, this is looking better and better and better and better for them. Doing a great job here. And off we go, another fight, and they're fighting without ETC. This is a 5 versus 4. Not necessarily a battle that I expected them to take, and not a battle that is going well for them. They are losing Tychus, and maybe we're not even done here. Another engage happens, and Junkrat is able to jump out, but they are risking too much. They lose another fort. The mid lane can get attacked now too. 6 kills to 2, 1 level ahead. So these small advantages that we're talking about the entire game are now slowly adding up, and it is a problem, and a big one at that. 5 versus 4 continuously. Gast is being used. They try to isolate ETC. He survives, but the keep is gone. Nice save on ETC. It's great that he survives. The problem is the keep's still destroyed. You've lost 3 forts and a keep, and the only thing that you've accomplished so far on the other side of the map is the destruction of a single fort at the bot lane. So, yeah. Tough times. ETC in particular, he's been struggling. 3 kills against him. Another camp taken, and of course the bad news is the level 20 talent. Yeah. Poland is going to get level 20. They're going to grab 20 for the next objective. Finally a bit of an aggressive... Yeah, I see the picture. Or not. I was about to say finally an aggressive move by the Finnish team, but even there, they retreated. And the reason being that they didn't know where the opponent was and they expected them to rotate over with level 20 talent, so it's not a fight that they are comfortable in taking. But now you go up against the Storm Talons on the other side. Yeah, twice coming in for potential Cocoon. I'm actually a little bit curious what Poland is trying to do here. I don't think they can push for core in that situation. They can push for a keep. Or at least for the wall. It's also at the bot lane where we're going to see the next objective spawn. So if you control that for now and maybe soften the wall up a little bit, you're going to be in a great spot for that. So here we are. Nature's balance is in. And on top of that, rewind and the wind tunnel. That's up at the top right. The camp gets claimed. It should be a freebie. Arcane Punisher should be absolutely free right now for Poland as they are looking for the second win in the series. I support that is. I like this a little bit more. Double camp at the top. The Haga should stay at the top as well. Try and proxy some of these waves, and that would give you value. I have no idea why the Haga is currently moving here. You want level 20, but you don't need him in that spot. So they're destroying this, I like that. But the Haga could stay at the top even a little bit longer and trying to get the next minion wave and help them with that. I guess he's trying to relieve some pressure from the middle instead. Fair enough. Either way, no matter where he is, he can just tunnel in. So they're taking the catapult down too. But this is actually pretty huge. Double camp, that keep is likely going to fall. So this is a good move by Finland, but it might be too little too late. They get level 20 for themselves, and ETC is currently teasing his 20. Hasn't shown it yet. Comes in, yep, with a death medal. And it is still time for the bottom keep to fall. This is gonna get destroyed one way or another. The question is what happens around the core. Because Finland is gonna get value at the top. If they can wipe them here, they can go topside and end it. Because Poland is going to lose that keep no matter what they do. But Poland wants to end the game here as well. And that Punisher still has 40% of his hit points. And it's just a bit too late for Finland. They are losing game number 2. Infernal Shrine goes to Poland as well as the blue team takes a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. GG. Battlefield of Eternity, our third map, and we have a 2-0 lead for Poland. It honestly feels like Finland is a bit too hesitant with some of the plays that they're executing. I mean, overall in team fights, they're not looking too bad. They've also made some really nice moves, but every time they win an objective, they seem to hesitate and they're not really committing to it. So that was a problem that they had on game number 1, game number 2. Bit of an issue here. We'll see what they can get away with right now, but if they want to win this series, they have to be a little bit more aggressive. So, yeah, Poland obviously very comfortable with the situation that they're in right now, a 2-0 advantage. Now, still gotta focus. We've seen reverse sweeps, and especially on this play day, we had a game that went to the 5th map too, where it looked pretty much over after 2 maps. It really looked like GG. It looked like, okay, there is no way this is going the distance, but step by step, map by map, the opponent got their wins, and that is obviously the big one here. So, what can they do? Battlefield of Eternity, as I said, is the 3rd map. That means match point for the Polish team. Victory here would go a long way in their ambition to make it to the offline event in Berlin. Finland, on the other hand, of course, again, I would love to see a little bit more aggression from them. Genji gets banned again, so he's already out. Battlefield is a map where a lot more team fights are going to happen. We could see, I mean, what kind of picks could we still see here? Lunara is still up and could technically, she could technically be taken. They open things up with Lucio, but on the damage numbers, Li Ming, Lunara, Greymane would be the big 3 probably for this one. I have a few more heroes that can also nibble around the edges, but those 3 are usually a very safe bet when it comes to this. A little bit farther off is then someone like Jimmy with Exterminator, given that you cannot play heroes twice within a series. So Vala, for example, with an arrow build cannot be used anymore. And then there's, of course, some other candidates for this too, especially on the melee side. But we get Li Ming. Li Ming on the first pick, with Poland able to follow up with their own damage dealer on range. But Urel already a good choice. Li Ming a very good choice. I guess we could still see something along the lines of Malthael, especially if somebody wants to commit to a triple front line. Greymane and Varian. So with those 2 together, it also means quick move with a taunt and then a bullet after that. So yeah, That works too. I like it. Again, an aggressive play by them. We still need a bit of follow-up on this. Personally, I'm curious what the side laner is going to be. That's also a really good idea and a good point. Sergeant Hammer. So, Hammer is gone. And, well, that is the last ban now. This time from Poland against Finland. So, what's it going to be? We have... What are they getting rid of here? Could ban a tank out. Has Muradin been played? Did we see him in game 1? Can't even remember. But they're getting rid of Uther. I mean, Muradin is kind of nice here because you can always jump around, get some stuns in, and then also with your level 4 you get the extra damage against the Immortal. But yeah, too many games today. Too many games blending into each other. But I don't think Muradin was taken on Tomb, right? Who do we have on the front line there? We had Jojo, and Jojo went up, not against Muradin. So, okay, see, he's technically still up, so he would be a good choice for them too. A bit more control. Anna and Garrosh. Alright, nano boosted Li Ming. That is something that a few teams have already threatened and usually was banned away from them. You get Chen for the side lane, it's Panda time. Pandemonium! Chen has been played a lot. And Tyrael. Ooh. That makes the Varian pick interesting. Is that gonna be a taunt or a smash play? Who is playing the main tank? Is it going to be Varian main tank or Tyrael main tank? Do we get a Judgment or what else is it going to be? Fat Illidan and Greymane. Greymane is pretty much just Rhaegar 2.0. It's the advanced version. And in game number 3, the final pick for Finland. It is Jimmy. Reina's in the house. We're going for map number 3 and let's see what Poland can do. Is it going to be a 3-0 victory? Or is Finland waking up here and claiming the first win on the third map of the series? Let's go. The third game in the series, Poland currently with Lavakal on Lucio. We got Richo and Chen twice on Varian. So he is playing main tank Varian with Arian on Greymane and Itrax on Tyrael. I would expect Tyrael therefore to go for more aggressive build and then maybe even Judgment, depending a bit on what they want to do, if they want to empower Greymane in these teamfights with the Sanctification or what the game plan is. For the Finnish team, we got Folk on Li Ming. It's the last chance in this particular series. Patsku on Urel, Suri on Garrosh, Vexu on Anna, and MXD is playing Reina. Likely going to move into Exterminator. It's exactly what we're getting here. Exterminator on level 1. We got the contact healing. We have Force Armor in. And already the Ardent Restoration for Tyrael, indicating that he wants to go for a more aggressive build with his hero. As to be expected, given what they're playing here. So, yeah. Very likely, I mean, again, it's going to be an aggressive build from Tyrael, and therefore also a good chance that he's going for Sanctification. He's pretty much taking a page out of Nick's book. Nicely dart. Yeah, a little bit too far away to get Garrosh in play and swap him over, but still a good start from them here. I like it. Okay. Now, with that being done, we have up at the top Chen against Urel. Urel has started things off with the Dauntless, and for Chen it is the Eye of the Tiger. Going full Survivor on us here. Very good song. Good band too. And boom. Let's go, Itrax, and he is able to get away here. Once again, the mobility of Tyrael obviously playing in his favor, but Finland is getting a little bit more aggressive right now. They got Garrosh at the front, they're already posturing with him, and they're trying to just pressure them as best as they can, get the combos off with Li Ming to slowly whittle down the hit points on all of these structures. And honestly, they're doing a fantastic job with it, so this is working quite nicely. The side wall is already opened up, the tower at the bot lane is not going to make it. That's 0 hit points. That thing is going to crumble in just a second. If you have just a bit of wind or one of those volleyballs connecting, then it is just over. And yep, one tower down. So early game, really nice for Finland. Good pressure, good damage, but yep, as I say, they also get a kill. This is a bit more like it. More aggression, more plays, more determination, and just overall more of a drive trying to get ahead here. With Lucio gone, they could also try and get the camp, but they don't. Instead, they're going for additional structural damage, and they're taking down the second tower, or they will at least in a moment. So yeah, nicely done. I like it. It's an early level 4 for them too, so it's about as good as it gets this early in the game. But now Taunt is ready for Poland, and this is where their own combo starts to get unleashed a bit. Yeah, as expected, here it is, the Divine Vigor on level 4. Now level 7 is going to follow up with the Synergy, whereas the camps are now up next before the Immortal spawns to create some lane pressure. Alright, we're good. Off to the races. Who's going to take it? Now, technically, Jimmy is going to be the big boy on the first Immortal. His level 1 is just super powerful, and especially on the first objective, and nobody else has really properly scaled yet, he can do enormous damage just by himself. You, of course, have Greymane also here in the hands of Poland, who can do a lot of work, but Jimmy just coming in and dropping the hit points. He was a little bit late to the party though, so that gave a lead to the blue team, and they capitalized on that with a halftime show victory. And a pretty strong one too. So Greymane is already doing his thing over on the right side, and this is gonna likely give them the objective. They just need to zone Jimmy a bit. And Jimmy is zoned far away, so unless he is able to get those shots through, and currently he does, it's going to be a victory for the blue team. Poland is getting very close at winning this one. Greymane is doing the best he can. Close call, but he gets it. 800 hit points is all that's left. The problem is, as they claim it, they also lose Varian, and now they lose Chen. That's 2 heroes down just as they get the Immortal, so not really great. You get the objective, you lose 2 heroes. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. We'll see. I don't think that this Immortal is going to do too much damage. Yeah, won't be able to push together with it. So, yeah, that's already your biggest problem. 3-0 on the kill count now in favor of Finland and the level 7 talent, and the Immortal hasn't even taken a tower down. That is one of the most embarrassing Immortals that I have ever seen. Go back to the hole that you crawled out of and be ashamed. Back in the corner. Oh boy. Yeah, if there is an Immortal kindergarten somewhere, this guy was bullied all day, every day. If you only get half a tower, that's really embarrassing. He's probably getting exiled. Can you imagine going back to the other Immortals and you have the first one coming in and telling you like, oh my god, I went to the keep and I took down the wall, and the next one comes in, I took down half a tower. Everybody's just laughing in your face. You're embarrassed for life. Like, yeah, he needs to redeem himself somehow. This is just not okay. That was a pretty embarrassing performance here. So, yeah. But either way, flip, 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 and goodbye. Finland has woken up. Took them a while, but they actually woke up. 4 kills to 0, 1 level lead. And again, this is the team that lost the objective, right? So that is great for them. Bad news for Poland. They have to put a little bit more effort into this if they want to win this game. Now, of course, level 10 is going to change the dynamic a little bit. It's always true. But for now, it will be the red team that grabs level 10 first, and that might just help them to get the Immortal very quickly, because it's an entire level lead over here. Greymane could take the structures down a little bit, and honestly should, as long as they can create some space here for him. That's great. Yeah, Garrosh comes back out, but that is 1 tower gone, and the gate gets destroyed too. So, that's not too bad. But I really worry a little bit for this objective from the perspective of Poland. This is not looking good for them whatsoever. I mean, not even a little bit. Unless they can get kills. Are you real? Are you for real? Surrey, body blocked. Anna with the pew pew pew. And Garrosh is dead. Just before they hit level 10. Alright. Yeah, that was good. Now they have a numbers advantage. 4 versus 5. There's the kill on, well, on the halftime show, I suppose. Level 10 is ready. So they still have a bit of a chance there. And even if they don't win the Immortal, I gotta admit that through the kill on Garrosh and the follow-up damage that they did on the Immortal afterwards, they at least reduced the shield to a manageable amount already. They even have the lead right now, and they're trying for another kill. Taunt is in. Fat Illidan jumps through too. But with Garrosh back to business and them running level 10, you should really know when to retreat. And Poland apparently has some problems with that, so they sacrificed the Panda. And what for? You just got level 10. They were defending their own Immortal. What do you fight there? You know that Garrosh was back. Now you're gonna lose another one. Judgment, yeah, they could use it. They really shouldn't fight this. Oh, 5 versus 4. They're gonna lose this objective, or at least they should. Defending there, they are asking for trouble. Chen is back, but this is done and dusted. 50% shield, triple panda, judgment, 11 stacks for Tyrael. Yeah, finds Li Ming. And he could actually go for that. Goes for Ana instead. So they want the healer. Ana gets saved. Garrosh is dead. And can they maybe still catch up with her? No. I like the strategy to go for Ana. I really think that's not a bad idea. If you can make the play for Ana, you jump in deep, you get Chen with you, you blow the support, the Kingdom Come, then you are in a very good position for the upcoming fight, unless you immediately lose a hero. In this case, they didn't get her, but they got Garrosh, and now they're getting a second kill as Jimmy falls victim to the blue wave. So, yeah, 3 kills to 5. Poland is starting to stabilize a little bit. They struggled in the early game until level 10, but now they are looking better. So, yeah, a bit more of a positive development for the Polish team. You gotta give them that. Question is always, can they keep that up? They are ahead in experience again. They suffered some damage up at the top 4, but that's about it. And Judgment is back up in 7. Back in 7. So, yeah. Alright. Can they isolate anybody here? I'm just like looking at the minimap and thinking, can they maybe go on to Urel and try and take her down? I don't think that's the thing. Also, killing her is going to be more than a little bit problematic, considering that she still has her ult up. If the cooldown was already used, then maybe. But like this, very unlikely. So, either way, full-on attack down at the bottom of the map, level 13, now ready, and Ana gets killed, or at least they want the kill. They are not coordinating this properly. They're not really going for a proper play, and I don't understand why. I mean, if you're already trying to make a judgment call for Ana, then at least follow up with Chen. Bring him in too. The bullet connected, but you gotta have a little bit more than that. It's not like the bullet is an auto kill. So that cooldown was a bit wasted, if you ask me. It could have been played out a bit better by them, and honestly, it should have. So the idea behind it, I like. But if you commit properly. Get Judgment in, follow up with Varian, follow up with Chen, but you need to really make a move. And yes, there are of course tools that the red team is going to throw at you to prevent them from happening. Wave of Force is one of them. Just Wave of Force it, try and buy some time, try and create some space, and it's going to be nice for you. Again, the attack is coming. Jimmy, of course, with the damage thanks to the Exterminator. 6 seconds for Judgment. There's the taunt, and Li Ming gets saved, and Greymane follows half a second later. So they are turning it on Urel, I guess. Ult could be used by her in just another second, unless she gets taunted. The fight is still full on, and we have the nano boost on, well, not on Li Ming, but on Jimmy instead. Not quite sure if that was intentional. Maybe they fat-fingered that slightly. Urel is already gone, and I guess Garrosh doesn't make it either, which means the entire front line is obliterated. And that is, yeah, the beginning of another potentially immortal for Poland. Okay. So, Greymane comes in once again. This time it looked a little bit better. The Wizened Duelist is in the house. Another taunt could be played. And Tyrael is currently holding the line on their own immortal. Now, Urel is already back. Garrosh slowly on the way. Chen is dealing with the top lane. So this immortal battle is not over yet. The halftime show victory obviously went to the Polish team. But Finland can still go for this. They can still make a move here. Yeah, nice sleep dart, alright. Jimmy with the damage. Trying to get this out with the Exterminator quickly. So Poland might have to make a play. No stun into a stun. Ults are coming back up. 5 seconds for Judgments. Jimmy still with a brr, 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 over on the other side. And they're just racing this one. They're going to win it. They're going to win it too. With Greymane and everything. Judgment and Indomitable gets used. They focus on Urel for a second. And here comes the second approach once again for Garrosh. And Garrosh is dead. Garrosh is turning into a punching ball. 6 kills to 5, and now it's time for the bottom to be attacked, and I don't think that this fort has a chance. This fort is gonna get destroyed. Garrosh died 4 times already. They are really making his life a living hell. And they're coming in again with more aggression, this time trying to maybe kill Urel, at least zone them away from the fort. That was successful. Chen is now on the way too. And they are going for Tyrael, but he still had the Old Ruins out and is therefore able to get himself back to safety. Level 16, getting closer and closer and closer for Poland. They want the 3-0. They want to keep their chances, their hopes and dreams of going to Berlin alive. They want to go to the offline event. They want to play at the Experience and play at the Nations Cup Finals. 6 kills to 5, level 16. Ults are coming back up. They could turn it. If they overchase, they can turn. I'm actually shocked that they didn't already. Once that Jimmy stepped out a bit, they could have just turned around and said, alright boys, let's go. Let's get another one. Unleash Judgment and take him down. But yeah, it's bad news for the Finnish team. They started off really well. The early game looked great for them. But now it's a 5-man death squad that just roams the map and is looking for more victims. And they can also, of course, start to push against the fort at the top. You don't just have to go for the keep at the bottom of the map. They already have vision on Liming, for example, so they know that there's, at best, a 4-man topside. So they can go for it. And if Anna is poking her head out too much, she's gonna get attacked. Tyrael is already in the back here. Judgment is there, gets used. Urel, not really too impressed. The Judgment, honestly, that we are seeing from Tyrael, I think they could do a bit better here. I like these moves. I like the attempt to go for Reyna in this case. Proccing also is fight or flight, so they apply more and more pressure over to the top fort. So all of this is not too shabby. It's a 5 versus 4. They're trying to exploit that advantage, and so they should. But these Judgments that we're seeing from Tyrael are just thrown out too easily. There's no follow-up. There's no coordination around it. If you use it because you think you can get the kill yourself, then fine. But oftentimes it just feels like a cooldown and gets a bit wasted. On the upside, oftentimes when it happens in a situation where you don't necessarily have to hold it back, because you know that for the big fight that's coming up next, around the objective, for example, you're gonna have a backup. And he's already down to 16-15 seconds on the cooldown. So, they take position here again. Camp taken by each team. And the blue team is pushing into this. Immortal's done, NXT is dead. But so is Greymane. Kill for a kill. Liming is dead, hoping for another reset, which never came. Twice is a bit low, but he's already thinking about re-engaging here. And Anna is getting pressured by Tyrael, but now Varian gets destroyed. And they overstayed. They overstayed. They might still get Anna. Not so sure about it just yet, but it seems like they can follow up. And Anna is alive, dead. She's dead. So it's a 2 versus 2 now. One team still with the support here. Tyrael going up against Garrosh and Urel with the assist of Lucio. And the keep at the bottom of the map is soon gonna fall. So while this all plays out over here, this is kind of important because this is the end of the keep. Now there's also a top camp that is pressuring the Polish team. But yeah, this is really bad news for Finland. They just lost their keep at the bot lane. That's a disaster. Now, as they are defending topside, the Finnish team has started to go for the Immortal. So they will lock in a halftime show victory, but they're still not guaranteed to win the objective itself. That's the bigger issue here. And that's a chance now for Poland to make a big move. Level 16, gave us the Bounty Hunter. We also got the Mirror Ball. Greymane already dishing out a little bit of damage, and they're safeguarding their own Immortal. But the longer the red team needs to re-engage in the middle of the map, the better for Poland, as Greymane is doing some solid work here. They've now taken the lead, taken the advantage. Once again, Garrosh is moving back in deep. Judgment is up, so they could coordinate around it if need be. Nobody is attacking the blue team's Immortal right now. This is a big one. And catapults are slowly moving towards the core of Finland. It's a bit too early for them to do real significant damage here. But they're attempting to race it. So now it's Poland that has to defend down here. Can they find a good Judgment target? Can they go for Liming? Can they go for Anna? Do they find anybody here? Tyrael is jumping in once again. Anna keeping herself as far away from the fight as she possibly can to not become the prime target. But everybody's just dancing around this now. And the core gets attacked again. Judgment in the back. Ana, pressure put on her, which allows them to attack the rest of the team. Tyrael, they're trying to turn on him though. Garrosh low, Tyrael as well. And they all get away. The combo of Li Ming barely missing, or it would have been the end of Tyrael. This time the nano boost hit the right target, but can Li Ming really capitalize on it? Doesn't seem like it. Panda going for the triple, and the core still under attack as 2 catapults are now moving in and take aim. That could remove a couple of hit points. They're going for the backline. Again, twice, moving for Ana. Ana, low, but Greymane and Variant both die. Finally, Ana is dead. Oh my god, and the Immortal is won in favor of Finland. Garrosh is dead too. Urel was able to survive, and the minion wave at the bottom destroyed the 2 catapults. What a game. Somebody has to deal with the catapult at the top too. So, yep, there's another one that they have to deal with. And at the bottom of the map, Finland isn't even pushing. How could they? They don't really have the heroes just yet. They have to defend first. They still might get the fort here. That Immortal is doing a lot of damage, and there's not really a whole lot of good defenders here. They don't have Greymane with this, so the fort is likely going to get murdered. But I suppose that's going to be the extent of it. This worries me a little bit more. I don't know why you would keep the catapult there. And yeah, this top side is taking way too much damage for my liking. You don't want to sacrifice a keep. And they're sending Greymane and they're saying Varian up there. So, yeah, there it is. Easy hits. Down to the bottom of the map now. We get MXD still taking over camp. Level 20 talents are, of course, ready. Purifying Brew is in. We get Glory to the Alliance for him as well. And, yeah, just the Unstoppable here for Chen could be a very big game changer considering who they're up against. Tooth and Claw and the Seal of Eldruin. But we will see level 20 for Finland in a few seconds too, so there's no talent advantage any longer in this game for anybody. We have 21 kills in this game. And Greymane already ready at the bot lane. Next objective coming up in a bit with the 20s. We now got the Nano Infusion, we got the Repulsion, Seraphim is in, and the Titanic Might. Obviously dancing around the camp here once again. And Chen, he needs to get ready. If he can wreak a little bit more havoc there in the back, that would be solid. 84,000 damage for Li Ming. We got 60,000 for Tyrael. Tyrael top damage for Poland. Taking it over Greymane. And everybody is waiting for the objective. Only one team with the potential camp. And Aaron is now making his move. Jimmy with 55,000. So yep, they can set this onto the bot lane and start to attack the core here. Trying to time it out a little bit more aggressively. Also together, of course, with their own minion wave down at the bottom of the map. So a pretty important one. And as I said, this is just not ready. You can't set it topside. There's no pressure against the top keep. So, yep, off they go. They go for the halftime show as well. Everybody's just racing. Racing, rushing, trying to burn it down. And this is where Jimmy and Li Ming, of course, Jimmy gets stunned. Jimmy got stunned. Now, well, they removed the stun quickly, but still, that's unfortunate if you're trying to take a big lead here. They still have a 4,000 hit point advantage, so not too bad. Time working, of course, in favor of Poland, as their bot lane is going to become a real problem for the core. With 21 minutes on the clock, the catapults are going to hit hard once that they are getting in. And this is why they're splitting some heroes down to the bot lane. Urel is here, and that's an instant attack from Poland on the Immortal. Gets instantly triggered. Greymane gets saved. Urel is back to business. She didn't have time to defend everything down at the bottom of the map. Catapults are still here, and so is the Shaman. So they are, again, on the ropes for this one. They need to do something about it. Up at the top, Finland has a big wave. Double wave plus catapult. So it could threaten the keep after all. But the core will be threatened at the bottom of the map. This is a dicey one for both of them. Poland has a 2-0 lead. Li Ming is retreating. Li Ming needs to defend this, and that's what she's currently trying to do, and it should trigger another attack here. They're going for it, and up at the top, this keep is gone. Already a win for Finland. They destroy the top side keep. Poland took it a little bit too easy on these minion waves. Judgment for Ana. If they take the fight, that's a different story. Stun against Chen. Chen might be in a bit of trouble. Hasn't used his ult just yet. Could dive in deep once again. Tyrael is gone. Could get the explosion out. And Lucio is dead as well. Finland fighting back with everything that they have. And this might even be game. Poland dominant for long stretches of this third map, but now they're falling completely apart here. Greymane is gone, Varian is eliminated, screw the Immortal, they can go directly for core. This is a 5-man team wipe that we are seeing. Chen is falling, and this is game. Nicely done. Finland with catapults up at the top. We are going to game number 4. Poland with a few mistakes here, and they get punished for it. Finland is able to claim victory on Battlefield of Eternity after initially losing the keeps at the bottom of the map. Nice performance here by the red team, and they are keeping this exciting. Forcing the victory on BOE, forcing game number 4, and maybe even bringing us to another 5-game series. GG. Brex's holdout, game number 4. The Finns made it happen. They won a map. Can they win more? Can they bring this to game number 5? 4th map means, of course, that 30 heroes are now unavailable. 30 heroes that have not been, or that have been played already, and they can therefore not be played again. So there was actually a very interesting question that was posed by chat now that we're going into this, and I think I definitely need to acknowledge this a little bit just as we headed into the game, and that is a very good one. What is worse, American beer or instant coffee? And honestly, I think instant coffee takes it very easily. When I talk about American beer being shit, I mostly talk about IPAs, about Bud Light, about Miller Lite. No, it's like, okay, jokes aside for just a second. IPAs are obviously trash, but I do not doubt for a second that there's maybe a couple of, small breweries where we have like real good American beer as well. I would say that in most of the big ones is probably not something that I would deem great beer, but if it's the choice between American beer and instant coffee, I'm fairly certain that I can find some American beer or a small American brewery that produces some really good beer that I would absolutely enjoy. I highly doubt that the same is true for instant coffee. So yeah, when it comes to coffee, I'm not above every now and then even going for the sugar water that they're selling at Starbucks and all of that, but when it generally comes to coffee and what we are baseline down with grinded beans called coffee, then there is, instant coffee just doesn't get anywhere near that. So I would probably say that instant coffee is just way worse. It just always tastes horrible. The only way that instant coffee tastes okay is you have like these insanely sugary ones, like the instant caramel cappuccino things, but that's more sugar than coffee then. So is that still coffee? I don't really think so. But yeah, it was an interesting question though. But yeah. Okay, so we have Brexit coming up. This game number 4. So of course Finland would love to bring this to a 5th map and start a reverse sweep off here. Diablo for twice. We got Rexa now and Oriel here on Brexis. I'm wondering what else they're going to get at the bot lane now, especially with the Oriel pick. Hammer is denied. That's unfortunate for them, I guess. But yeah. Let's see if they can maybe get a mage in. Bit of wave clear would be needed for that. So Stukov, May on the other side. It's actually kind of interesting that the trend recently has gone a bit away from heroes that have a whole lot of mobility. I mean, obviously there's a caveat of, hey, we have a lot of heroes that have already been played, they can't be played again, some are banned out. But a Karazim, for example, Medivh portal plays, all of these things. There's not really a whole lot of that that's happening here just yet. And it's a bit on the weird side. But okay. Their swing gets banned. Double pick for Finland. They definitely got their act together a little bit in game number 3. But I would assume that Poland is making this a lot harder for them. There's Gul'dan. I could have totally seen Gul'dan on the side of the blue team instead. But yes, Gul'dan is in the house. Malthael 2. So we have Malthael top side. I guess he's going to struggle a little bit against Rexa. At least I would expect that. Whereas with the final 2 picks here for Poland, they're setting themselves up for match point number 2. First one was denied by Finland. Now we got the second one. So... Zagara Kelthas! Okay, things just got spicy. Zagara and Kelthas? Alright. I'm listening. Interesting. I wonder how they are setting the lanes up with this. That's a lot of pressure. A lot of lane pressure. Lots of AoE damage. And if they can take the structures down with a poke, whew, that would be sweet. Okay. Final pick for game number 4 on Brexis, and it is Tassadar. Let's go, ladies! We got game number 4 coming up. Poland against Finland. A 2-1 lead for Poland. Match point number 2. They started with a 2-0 lead, but Finland is trying to claw their way back into this game. On the left side, Lovekal with Auriel for the Polish team. Itrax on Zagara, Richu on Rexa, and Twice is playing Diablo. Arion on Kelthas. And it is an interesting lineup that they're running here. Nice CC2. I love a good Kelthas. Gravity Lapse is always nice with the additional follow-up. On the right side, we got Finland with Folke on Stukov. We have Sori on Mei, MXD on Gul'dan, Vexu on Tassadar, and Totsku on Malthael. So, what can they pull off? Is Poland gonna win this one with a 3-1, or are we really going to the final map in the series? Malthael at the top, yeah, nice move. But once again, it is Tassadar with the wall, and he makes the Zergs pay for it. There it is, yep. Easily done. That backfired. So, Finland, they've really woken up. They came in, swinging, take down Zagara, and now they're applying pressure up at the top. Of course, there's also some damage done at the bottom of the map, but there's nowhere near the same push power in the hands of the bottom 3 than what we're seeing up here at the top. So yeah, good job. Okay, so another quick hit is coming. They are trying after tower number 1 to go for more damage, maybe even take the gate down so they can get some vision of what's happening behind that. But yep, there it is. So, this is actually a map where Zagara has been played a couple of times. Dino, for example, played her here as well. The problem with her is always that she is very squishy. And when you're going up against this particular lineup, it just simply means that if Tassadar can drop a nice wall, then, yeah, it's going to be the end of Zagara very, very quickly. Because she is just suffering from a very low hit point pool. Camps claimed on both sides. We now have down to the bottom of the map still our 1 versus 1. I mean, Rexa is a little bit lost there, but it's the 4-man up at the top. The beacons are up. Objective is ready. Camps claimed by both teams, so there's parity here. And Zagara is going for a few more camps, and up at the top we might see them with some structural damage as they're trying to come through. But down to the bottom of the map, vision is obviously also a bit of a point, so you need to try and use the, use Gul'dan here to take those tumors down. Pretty easy for him. And Zagara should honestly never be able to get a whole lot of vision on the map. A couple of alibi tumors maybe, but not much more than that. Malthael on the top, on the other hand, falls as they're still fighting this out down at the bottom of the map. So yeah, Tassadar is still defending, but they're slowly getting damage done. And that obviously also includes Kelthas. Gravity Lapse is a follow-up on the stuns that they can provide here. It's going to help them in these fights. They are doing some work. Yeah, there's another wall, so Vexu is doing his thing. But they are losing the entire wall. First tower down, pressure down at the bottom of the map. But all of a sudden Finland finds himself in the same situation that Poland was in earlier today. They just don't have the same push power as out at the top. Both of the teams with damage, both of the teams trying to accelerate the game a little bit, and totally okay controlling only one of the beacons, as it seems. And as I say it, we have the rotation towards the bottom in an attempt to maybe control another one. So Misha is already dipping her feet in here just a little bit, as Gul'dan is pushing the waves out even further. 1 hit at a time. He still went for the L-Code Corruption, and damn, that nearly killed Zagara. He hit that one hard. And all of a sudden, we have 16% on the point for Poland. They claimed the bottom, and then Malthael realized, wait a moment, I'm alone? Alright, I'm gonna take the beacon. Let's go. So, 20 stacks for Gul'dan already. And the progress is now starting, because Rexa is a little bit too late to the party with Misha. And that is 26 to 16 points now. Finland is, generally speaking, looking pretty good here. And it's funny to me, but I also like it, because initially, when we looked at game 1, game 2, Poland, they had the upper hand. There were a few games where maybe until level 10 they had a tough time, but then they always turned it around very quickly. Now, of course, here in game number 4, we're also still not at level 10, but the pressure that comes from Finland is very different, and there's a totally different vibe from the red team than what we've seen previously. They're a little bit more aggressive, they're pushing more, and they're just generally more decisive, I want to say. And I like that. I really like that they adjusted, and they seem to be a bit more comfortable right now in their position. But Poland, of course, a tough opponent. They definitely can be, so they are doing their thing now. They are trying to claim this one. Zagara has a little bit more creep that she can work around with down at the bottom of the map. Diablo is getting his stacks together, but just look at this. And it's another wall. The Donald would be proud.
It's a beautiful wall. Such a great wall. I know a lot about walls. This was a great wall.
Tazadar with one electric fence after another. They have level 7 now, so yeah, Psionic Echo is in, and they are just carpeting the floor here the entire time with it. But the bottom fort is getting destroyed, so yeah, I don't know. Top sides, we get also Malthael still holding on to this, and now that they're going for another beacon, they might even get the double beacon control again. I mean, it's getting a little bit spicy here. I generally like where Finland is at with this, but Poland is of course looking for kills, and there's finally what I was looking for the entire time. I mentioned the gravity labs. If you get those stacks, if you get those CC chains going, that's really where you can find your kills, and they finally got another one. May is down, and the opportunity to claim the top beacon. Malthael is here, says hello, and is forced back for just a second, so they claim it. They have both. Tazadar is trying to move in here. Won't be able to hold it against Diablo, so yeah. Another wall, but he buys themselves a little bit more time. That's 44% that they now have. And everybody is still pressuring this out, but eventually it is the red team that claims it at the bottom. Both teams now with the camps too. And let's go. Down here, what can they pull off? Can they maybe go for Gul'dan even? Oh, boy is looking a little bit low. They can collapse on him, maybe Diablo with a quick engage. Trying to force him away from the beacon again. May gets bullied and whipped into the wall. Follow up as well, nice! That's where we needed the wall stun, but we didn't quite get it. So twice, it's a little bit low, alive, and dead. Yeah, Finland. 3 kills to 2, closing in on level 10 and applying pressure at the bottom fort. When it comes to structural damage, they are definitely the ones. So here we are. Another quick hit, and goodbye. Surrey is gone, and Zagara is, well, caught by the wall and is still alive. And Stukov, bro, you don't want to be that far out. If Misha had another stun there, you might be toast. Gul'dan is also a bit close. Both teams now on level 10. That gives us the last rights, and there's a couple of heroes that should be very careful that they're not getting too close to the Angel of Death. So we have them with control again. 58 against 40%. And now the combo with the Apocalypse. And goodbye, Gul'dan. Gul'dan gone. Poland with another kill. Maybe they can open the bot lane up a little bit, and Zagara is claiming the spot up at the top. So they might just get the 100% Zerg wave now. May gets attacked again. Diablo, careful, can't go too deep. Obviously fully stacked now in his souls, but still needs to be careful with this. 78%, 80%, twice? Yeah, he needs to get out of this one. But as is, they get the Zerg wave. 100, no they don't! 98% against 40. That's just sad. One tick away from getting the big one. So another chance for Finland to bring this back, and they now have Gul'dan at the top to do exactly that. The ice wall is out, the Maw is used as a bit of a counter. And they're still fighting tooth and nail for the next kill, with Stukov getting stunned out. Gul'dan is rejoining the bot lane fight. And if they now reclaim that beacon, they might be the ones to get the big one. But Malthael is dead. Malthael is down, quickly eliminated, and that is the chance to go for the objective. So they can send anybody towards the top, take that beacon. One hit is all that they need, and then they're going to have 100% to 40%. Much bigger wave for them, and of course Zagara pushing at the top wave together with them. So a Zerg Queen with the Zerg wave, all that they need here to destroy maybe even the fort. There's nobody at the top lane just yet. Malthael could now make his way topside, but he's not making any moves. Is anybody going top? They should hurry up a little bit. Well, yeah, okay, they have quite a few heroes that are going top. Zagara is trying to burn the minion wave down, but now she has to retreat, and she waited way too long. That's a stack for Malthael, if anything. Yep. That is first stack for Malthael's last ride. Easy kill. The fort takes damage, but not too much. Down at the bottom of the map, they're hoping to get a bit more. Gul'dan is the only one that stays here, and he is already getting more stacks together for his Echoed Corruption. So, good job getting the bigger Zerg wave. Not so much damage done with it, though. So, they got the fort down to, what is this, 40%? 35. 5 kills to 4, still 12.5 to 12.5. On the damage, we have 31,000 against 25,000. Zagara has now died twice. And they're getting additional camps. I mean, it's true for both of them now. Both of them just go for a few more camps, trying to make the plays there. And with that said and done, another engage over towards the next mercenary camp. Nobody's going for the boss. They're trying to get level 13 talents. I guess Twice is double checking a little bit what's happening here in the middle. Nobody's going to be able to sneak that. It's not going to be a thing, but as long as you don't have vision on the opponent, you want to make sure that they're not trying to get cheeky. And yeah, down to the bottom of the map. They still have at least a couple of creep tumors. But level 13 talents are now ready. In this case, we get the Piercing Lash. So, Tassadar against Zagara. Zerg against Protoss. Well, Zagara is having the better angle here. These walls are getting a little bit annoying. He just sets them up for the AoE. But maybe some more pressure on the fort can be applied. Malthael is also here though, so he's looking for an easy second stack. That, on the other hand, is the end of Gul'dan. No, Stukov, sorry. They caught Stukov here. And they, damn, did some serious damage on Mei too. So, whew, that could have been another kill. Mei surviving, but that got close. With that rotation hitting her, 6 kills to 4. More on Malthael. There's the chance, but the ice wall denies the worst. Nice counter by Mei. That one was important. So once again, we're in a similar situation. Poland nibbles on structures. They do a similar job to what we've seen on Infernal Shrines. Time and time again, they apply pressure, they get a little bit ahead. Finland keeps in range, so it's a continuous back and forth here. But if Poland is able to take these forts down, it will make things a lot more tricky for Finland, and that's what they're currently trying to do. But let's not forget that at least initially, Finland were the ones that were pushing hard and dropped the fort on the blue team side down to 50% HP. So, yeah, there's that. And again, in comes Tassadar. Gravity Lapse is just such a fun follow-up. I really like it. So yeah, the Gravity Lapse is there. We follow this up with more damage from Kel'Thas. Another stun. Good job by Misha. And guess what? Zagara is alone at the top. That is the end of the fort. This one's gone. This one has no chance. This fort will fall. Which also means that Poland should honestly not be aggressive at the bottom of the map. Just poke around a little bit, see what you can do, poke them with damage, but don't commit to anything, because it is going to backfire. And as long as nobody rotates towards the top, Zagara can go for another minion wave pretty easily. So she can start attacking this wall. Somebody is going to be forced back. And if Finland decides that they're not sending anybody back, then Zagara is just going to take the entire wall apart. Trading that for the fort, I guess that's fine. So finally, we have somebody retreating, but it's Stukov. Stukov is not going to be enough for this. So one tower is already down. More damage being done over here. Stukov says hello, but that means you don't have a support anymore in this fight. More being used, playing it safe. The entire wall is gone. They get the initial lead on the objective. Top side, Yep, Gul'dan is taking over, but is also getting pushed back a little bit. Hydra is already dropping him very low, and now Zagara could retake. And that means that they have maybe even another objective. They're already at 16%, and so far it doesn't really look like anybody is getting close to them, because they're forcing them into a fight over here. Uld and Tassadar is thrown out, but didn't help them too much. And the percentage points are ticking. They even try to steal the camp away. It's the level 16 advantage that Finland just doesn't want to fight against. It's a huge talent lead. And they are giving up so much on the map now. They give up the camp, and they give up the objective. This is 100-0 that we're going for. 100-0, and a dead Malthael. Oh boy. Yeah, trouble's brewing. Trouble's brewing over on Brax's holdout. Big Zerg wave at the bottom of the map, and they already opened the top lane up. Bot lane, Fort, no chance, meaning that all of the fountains get removed. Finland is in trouble again. They really are. They still try for level 16. 51,000 damage for Gul'dan. He's top damage in the game. Easy peasy. But it is Poland who's currently making the moves. They're pulling farther and farther ahead. They steal camps away. They have the big Zerg wave now. Easily bursting through the bottom of the map. Nice AoE, of course, from Finland, from Tassadar, and also Gul'dan. But the fight gets forced again. They want the kill, and Stukov falls. Malthael got mauled. Stukov is dead. Zagara is also gone, but they take the keep. So the keep that gets destroyed. Topside fort, can they take that? First they're going for Malthael, and team? If they get everybody here, they could go for the core. Topside fort is still there. Both of the forts on the blue team side are insanely low. I mean, insanely low. Look at this. No hit points left. Down here, same picture. But there's no catapult spawning. None. And now they're going for the boss. Tassadar and Gul'dan are both still alive, and the boss claimed... Yeah, keep in mind that the top lane wall has also been eliminated. So, Finland is in serious trouble now. They're not out of this yet, and if anyone, if Tassadar, if Gul'dan, doesn't really matter, makes his way over to the opponent's fort, those two are gonna fall with just one ability cooldown being used. But now we have a top lane push going that will try to damage the second keep, and this one is already very, very low too. Zagara with 35,000 damage. Kel'Thas sitting currently on 38k. It's a 5 versus 5 again, with a 1.5 level lead in the hands of Poland. Poland wants the 3-1. They want to take the match here. And they could. They definitely have that opportunity. And I don't think that this keep here can be saved. I don't think so. Even with all the AoE damage that they have and with all the poke that is available to them. It's already down to 50% HP, but the Phoenix gets dropped. Zagara drops a couple of roaches on it, and this is the end of the top lane keep. So Poland can fall back and just they can play it slow. Wait for level 20. If you're Poland, you just wait for 20. You soak the lanes, you wait for your Storm Talons, and you let Finland do their thing. And then you capitalize on it. So, yeah. That is gonna be a very, very difficult game for Finland, unless Poland screws up now. If they get a little bit too cocky and they're forced into a fight before level 20 hits, or maybe there's a gank coming up somewhere, it might be a different story. But right now, yeah. Stay as 5. Don't rotate if you don't know where the opponent is. Play it slow. And they're getting forced into the battle. Yep, Diablo. Where's the last rights when you need it? Well, Misha is down. Diablo is dead. And nearly a kill on Gul'dan. 70 hit points. Now, Diablo at least had his soul stacks up, so he's going to be back. But it's insane to me that Gul'dan survived this. It's actually crazy. Gul'dan, real survivor over here. And, well, up at the top, another minion wave. All that they need. Stukov. Careful, bro. Really careful here. Now, down here, catapults are pushing in. Zagara is able to get out. Everybody's a bit low, so Zagara is dropping damage as well. And any moment now, level 20 for Poland. But more importantly, this is likely going to be the end of Malthael. Malthael, does he have his ult? No, he doesn't. can't drop it. They drop Stukov, and the double beacon control has already been claimed. Another wall's done, and this is all she wrote. This has to be game. Zagara, she doesn't fall. Gul'dan gets mauled. Mei is dead. Gul'dan low. And of course, the objective is now going to be claimed by Poland, who already have the level 20 talents. They have another 100-0 Zerg wave in just a bit. I don't think they even need it. They make their way over towards the core. 13-7 kills, and Poland, they're moving in for victory as they take the W on Brax's holdout. They win another game, they claim victory in the series, and they keep their hopes and dreams alive. They want to go to the offline final in Berlin, and they're doing everything they can to make that happen. Nicely done, GG, well played, as Poland takes down Finland on playday number 5 with a 3-2-1 victory. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.